It's really kind of confusing or complicated when two intellectuals come together and have a conversation. Mind you, they probably have feelings for each other, but no one is confiding, or sometimes maybe one of them would. So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. So just imagine in a cozy cafe lined with bookshelves, two intellectuals, let's call them Clara and Ethan, sat across from each other. The air thick with unspoken words, their conversations often danced around the edges of deeper feelings, filled with wit and banter, yet neither dared to reveal the truth simmering beneath the surface. So Clara leaned forward, her fingers tracing the rim of her coffee cup. You know, sometimes I think the greatest paradox is how we seek understanding yet fear vulnerability, is what she says. Ethan raised an eyebrow, intrigued, and he says, the eternal struggle between intellect and emotion. We can analyze relationships from every angle, yet when it comes to our own, we become scholars of silence. And she chuckled, a hint of longing in her eyes. Exactly. It's almost as if we are more comfortable discussing the theories of love than admitting we feel it ourselves. Or maybe it's the fear of complicating a perfectly good friendship, he suggested. His voice steady but his heart racing. What if acknowledging our feelings disrupts this synergy we have? Clara's heart skipped this time. But isn't that the very essence of connection? To embrace the messiness of it all? Ethan shifted in his seat, his gaze intense. True, but vulnerability can be terrifying. What if we misread the signals? What if we ruin what we have? The silence stretched between them, heavy yet charged. They both knew the underlying tension, the late-night conversations, the lingering glances, the way laughter felt electric. Yet, here they were, discussing the concept of love as if it were a distant phenomenon, rather than a reality pulsing just beneath the surface. Clara finally broke the silence, her voice softer this time. You know, sometimes I wish we could just say what we mean, no fear, no hesitation, she says. Ethan nodded, his expression contemplative. Wouldn't that be revolutionary? To just lay it out there without the fear of rejection or changing the dynamic. But what if, Clara ventured, a spark of hope in her voice, what if our feelings could enhance our connection instead of threatening it? Ethan met her gaze, a flicker of possibility igniting between them. Then maybe it's worth the risk. After all, isn't every great discovery born from a leap of faith? They shared a moment, both caught in the weight of their unsaid truths. Outside the world continued to bustle, but in their little corner of the cafe, time felt suspended, each contemplating the allure of confession and the fear of losing what they already cherished. The conversation may have skirted around their feelings, but the bond they shared was undeniable, a silent promise hanging in the air, waiting for the right moment to break free. And that is almost what most of us are going through sometimes, generally. Most people go through such kind of things. You have that mutual feeling between the two of you, but because I don't know how to explain this. You both don't confide in each other. Each one is waiting for the other one to make the first confession, but none is making any kind of a confession. And so the chain keeps going on and on like that. Time is spent with each other mutually in a good way. Each and every time they come together, they are having a mutual kind of a feeling, but because they're not confessing to each other, they just waste their time. But if they opened out to their own vulnerabilities and took the risk of sharing their feelings, they would not have to undergo such kind of tedious kind of recycles, and it would have saved them a lot of time, which they already are wasting away by just keep on repeating what they think is right, but which is just wasting their time. They approach their emotions analytically, which can lead to tendency to overthink rather than express feelings directly. They might prioritize logic and reason, seeking to understand their emotions rather than simply experiencing them. This can create a kind of emotional distance, making it harder to confess feelings. Some may fear vulnerability or worry about how their feelings will be perceived, leading them to opt for rationalization instead. Others might engage in discussions about broader concepts rather than personal experiences, using abstraction to avoid intimacy. Ultimately, it's a complex interplay of personality, social conditioning, and the fear of potential consequences that shapes their behavior. And in the long run, they just might lose the best of what they could have had in their life. And just because of fear. And fear is nothing but an illusion. Fear of rejection. It's just an illusion. And this is our guidance for today. And I hope this helps, because there are these intellectuals who have feelings for each other, but they do not want to open out because they are so afraid of being rejected. I mean, so what? What do you think would happen if you were open with your feelings? It's best to just take the risk instead of just closing out yourself and wasting your time and losing the best thing that you might have in your life. And I hope this helps someone. So till next time, have a great day. Much love and God bless.